Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, I'm Hailey, and in today's video I'm going to be transforming myself into a different Hailey Bieber that is. I just did my model off duty, how to look like a model off duty video. You guys really liked that, so I decided to focus more on the makeup and give you this Hailey Bieber inspired makeup look. I am going off of a picture that I saw. The picture is this one right here. I really liked her hair in this, and I liked how her makeup was very like glowy and natural, and I did try out some new techniques that she is known to use as well. So before we get started, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my channel before you leave today. I do post new videos every single week, and in a week from today, Vlogmas starts. That's where I upload a brand new video from December 1st up until Christmas Eve. So make sure you subscribe because I love doing Vlogmas. I have some really fun video ideas, so you don't want to miss out on those. So make sure you're subscribed. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I already got my hair up in this bun. We're not gonna look at the back because the back doesn't matter. We're not looking backward, we're looking forward. And so her front pieces definitely look a lot cuter than mine, so I'm gonna like tuck mine back here so they can kind of like take curve while we're doing the makeup, and so like this like lays down more because it's a little weird because my hair is parted to the side. So while that's happening, we're gonna go ahead and start with the face. And so I'm gonna be using two primers today. The first one I'm gonna use is this Becca First Light Priming Filter. This one has been one of my favorites like for a really long time. I love it because it's so moisturizing, especially in the winter time, and see, like it's just so glowy. And Hailey definitely has more of like a glowy, luminous look to her skin. So I wanted to use a very glowy primer. Oh, this one's so pretty. And it like neutralizes redness because of the purple that's in there. It's really good, and it smells like Fruity Pebbles, so another added bonus. I'm actually gonna go in with two primers today, and the other one I'm gonna be using is the Tatcha Silk Canvas, and I'm just gonna put this one in my T-zone in like my cheeks. I'm gonna press this one in. Guys, my skin is honestly pretty good right now. I picked a good day to do the Hailey Bieber makeup look, even though my skin is not as perfect as hers, but it's pretty good for this Hailey. Alright, so I did watch a few of her like Vogue makeup videos, and it looks like I know like in this photo she's probably not doing her own makeup, but in a lot of her videos with makeup she does use her hands for her face products. So I'm gonna do the same thing today, and I'm gonna be using the L'Oreal 24-Hour Fresh Wear. I chose this because it's a little more medium coverage. It's not as full coverage, and I feel like she likes to let her skin breathe a little bit more. I would too if my skin looked like that. So I'm just gonna add this straight onto the face and start to work it in with my fingers, which is so weird for me. This feels like strange. Oh my gosh. It looks good though. Okay, I kind of like this technique, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm in like middle school again, I'm pretty sure. I honestly don't know when I started using brushes. I feel like high school, I definitely used a brush like the whole time. But I don't know for middle school if I use my fingers. Okay, that looks pretty good. Definitely more on like the natural finish looking side. So now I'm gonna take this Becca, it's called the Aqua Luminous Perfecting Concealer. I don't know if this is still available, but this is like the most dewy, lightweight concealer that there is. And I am gonna use my e.l.f. one as well because I do need a little bit more coverage. But this is gonna give us like that really luminous under eye that she has in this photo. I'm also gonna put this on my nose. And then I'm gonna take a little bit lighter one. And then I'll put this one here. This is still less concealer than I use, so we're gonna see how this goes. Ring finger. Okay, those mixed into like a really nice color. I used to apply my concealer with my fingers, so this isn't that different for me, but I haven't in a long time. Okay, that looks really nice. I'm gonna go wash my hands really quick and I'll be right back. Okay, this is honestly looking really good so far, and I like the placement of it. It is looking like the picture. My only worry is that when I set this, it's not gonna be as dewy anymore, so I'm gonna set it very lightly. With the MAC powder I always use, usually I would just go in and like stamp my whole face, but I'm gonna be very light-handed this time and just really keep it up here and then drag it down just very, very gently so I can still keep some of like the luminosity. And we can always add it back in if we have to, but I'd rather have it look like really natural and dewy as opposed to like putting a highlighter there. And then I'm just very lightly gonna set my chin in this area, even though she still has this really shiny. Yeah, that still looks shiny, so we're good. All right, I'm gonna do a touch of cream contour with this Shape Tape by Tarte. This is the shade Deep. I'm literally gonna do like one dot, like barely any. And I'll do it up here too, so that I'm just gonna use like the end of my beauty blender just to keep it really luminous, so we're not like overdoing it with the powders. And then I'm just gonna do a little bit on my forehead. And a little on my nose. I don't want to get it in my blonde. That looks really nice. Alright, nose always makes me nervous. So I'm just gently like pressing. I'm not really like dragging anywhere. I'm just gently working it like up and down. And then I'll like kind of rub it on my finger. Okay, now that that's done, I'm gonna use this Morphe, it's called the Glamour Bronze Megastar Bronzer. The packaging does not look like this anymore, but they do still have this. And I'm gonna take this smaller contour brush, the JH07, also from Morphe. And I am first, before I go in with like my bigger bronzer brush, just going to like kind of set the contour very gently and kind of give it a little more definition. And I'm just really being so light-handed and gentle. Ooh, okay, I did a little much on that one. I'm used to my old ways of bronzing myself into like another planet. That actually looks good, okay. And we can always clean up under here. All right, and her forehead is pretty bronzed. So I can really be myself up here. Maybe I should start like doing this to my forehead because I'm really liking how it looks. And for the nose, I'm gonna pinch this and just use like the leftover product. And then take it underneath. Yeah, that makes my nose look shorter and a little bit more like her shape. All right, and then I'm just gonna go over it with this to kind of blend it out a little more. And it'll like add the dewiness, because her nose even looks dewy, back in like with that concealer. Awesome, it's coming together. It's not like as full coverage as I would usually like, but we're doing it like Hailey Bieber would. Like we have perfect skin. Now I'm just kind of blending everything together with my like bigger bronzer brush. All right, now we're gonna do some blush, and she has like more of a peachy blush on from, that's what I would call peachy, so I'm gonna be using MAC Melba. It's like a really nice neutral peachy blush, and this has a little bit of like a shimmer on it already, the brush, so I'm actually just gonna leave it like that and just like work with it because I feel like it complements what we're going for. That's actually a perfect color. Okay, I'm putting it on like a little more generously because it does fade on me really quick. So when we're all done, this will look like a lot more natural. It looks like she does have a little bit on her nose, and it doesn't look like she has any on her forehead. But I'm just gonna do it because I really can't help myself. It's an addiction at this point, like a blush addiction, so sorry. And honestly, I might change my mind and add a highlight at the end, but for now, I'm gonna leave this and just like keep looking at it and see like what I want to do, because it doesn't look like she has on like a beaming cheek highlight. So I'm just gonna leave it like this and see at the end if I feel like adding it. So now we're gonna move on to the eyes. Okay, I'm actually gonna be using this bronzer for the majority of the eye look, and then I'm gonna go in with a darker brown and kind of deepen up where I need to. I have like a picture of her eye blown up on my computer right now, and I'm looking at that. It looks like we're focusing most everything out here. So I'm gonna work in layers. Usually I would just go in like crazy and just put bronzer everywhere, but I'm not gonna do that today. So I'm gonna start out very lightly, just placing this on the outer corner and just kind of blending like in a circular motion, really focusing down here on like this outer V. And then I'm gonna slightly start to push this over into the crease, but also pushing it that way. Does that make sense? So just kind of being very gradual and starting to create that eye shape. I'm sure for her eye already kind of looks like that, so I don't think she would have had to create it, or her makeup artist, but I do. And if you have an eye shape like mine, you're gonna wanna drag it out a little bit more just to get that eye shape, and then we're gonna drag over our leftover into the crease. I do have a little more like eye space than her, so it looks like I'm putting it up more towards my brow. If you look, like her brow starts here. So I am putting it up a little bit more, but that's because I have a bigger space there than she does. So to get that same illusion, I'm having to go up a little bit higher, because hers goes all the way into her brow. She doesn't really even have room for like a highlight, so that's why it's being dragged up so far for me. Okay, so that's like the shape that we have going on. Now we're gonna start deepening a little bit. So we're gonna take our favorite deep brown eyeshadow. You guys know that my favorite is from the Baked Browns palette, the Dose of Colors, and I love using that brown right there. So I'm taking this tiny little brush. It honestly did have black on it before, but I think that's gonna work to our benefit because it does look like she has a tiny bit of black right there, but nothing crazy. So I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of the brown, and on my outer corner lash line, I'm gonna put it down right here. And I'm not gonna go any further. I'm gonna start blending it in circular motions and even like dragging it like this. It should be so subtle, but you guys see what I'm talking about. And then I'll even take this and drag it up higher. I'm gonna do this a little at a time until I get the desired darkness. And you're gonna be blending for a while, so just get used to it. Okay, I dipped my brush in the brown a little bit because I needed a little bit more. And then you can also dip back into your bronzer to bring some warmth back in and just kind of blend it out a little bit more seamlessly. Okay, that's looking really good. I feel like hers almost looks a little bit warmer, so I'm gonna take this, which is warmer than the bronzer, and just add a little bit there. Now I'm gonna take this little brush again into the brown and drag a little tiny line. I'm not blending down, I'm just lining where my lashes are. Then I'm gonna take this brush, it's a little bit bigger, into the bronzer, and then just create a line. I'm not smoking down like I normally do, because hers does not go down that far. It's just very subtle. Awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and do this to this eye, and then we will finish off with the lid and like the brow bone and all. Okay, so that's done. I really like how it turned out. I'm using like different techniques than I would usually use, even though I'm using the same colors, and it's honestly making like a really big difference. I'm really liking how it's turning out so far. So now that I'm looking at the picture, she does have a little bit of a sparkle happening right here, but it's so subtle and it's like almost that same color. So I have this glow kit here, Anastasia, it's the Sun Dipped Glow Kit, and I have Tourmaline and Bronzed on my two fingers right here. And I'm deciding which one to use, and I'm thinking this is gonna be too light, so I'm gonna use the bronze one, but it's not gonna look like this. It's gonna be so subtle because I'm not gonna like wet my brush or anything. I'm just gonna take some on a little tiny brush and so ever slightly just pat it on, like so lightly. Yes, like barely anything. That looks so good. And I'm gonna put some on the brow bone because she doesn't have like a super highlighted brow bone. And I'm dragging it down right here. I always like overdo it so much now. Like I'm seeing I do. Like it doesn't have to be like beaming bright for it to be pretty. Like this is just so soft and I love how it's looking. And it doesn't always have to be like a really white like highlight. It can be dark. Okay, the eyes look so good. Oh my god, yes, okay. And then I'm gonna add a small coat of mascara because she does not have lashes and her mascara is not crazy. So I'm just gonna do like maybe one coat with this one and then one coat with my telescopic. And I'm only gonna do the top lashes with this one, and then for the bottom I'll do the telescopic. I'm kind of pulling them to the side as opposed to like straight up. I'm obsessed. All right, and then I'm gonna take the L'Oreal telescopic. It's like a smaller one, and just push these to the side a little bit more, and this is more separating. And then I'm gonna put this on the bottom. As I was researching, I also saw that she doesn't really put anything in her brows besides brow gel, so I'm just gonna brush my brows straight up because she definitely has like more of a fluffy brow. We're going straight up. And I know mine are very like crazy, but I'm growing them out, so what can you do? Okay, I love this. I'm actually gonna add a little bit of this on top of my blush. I might regret this, but I'm a little nervous. I'm gonna do it so lightly. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, so she does have like a little bit of a brighter nose highlight and a tiny bit of like a light highlight on the inner corner. So I'm gonna take the MAC Whisper of Guilt. This is like very complimentary, I feel like. So first I'm gonna do my nose, and it looks like she has just like right on the tip, right where it's naturally hitting. And then the line. And I noticed when in pictures you can see it on the side of her nose too. And then just a touch on the inner corner. I think that's good. And then I really don't see any on the brow bone. She does have a little more right here though. Oh, that looks so good. I'm gonna start putting it there. Now I'm gonna, before we do our lips, I'm gonna go ahead and spray everything with some setting spray and then press it in with, if I can find a clean side of my beauty sponge, press it in with that. Just really lightly. Yeah. Okay, that actually made it look even more like blended and like luminous. I've done this with a wet beauty sponge, but never with a dry one, but I really like it. All right, and for lips, hers are definitely overlined, so I'm gonna be using the MAC lip liner in Strip Down. I feel like that's the closest. And I'm gonna overline my lips. I'm gonna go like this and drag it all the way, like start at the little corner that I make. And I go like that, because that's what looks like what they did. It kind of like changes the shape of my lip. And then same up here. That makes my lips like wider. Oh my god, I never realized you could just open your mouth and like follow the line. Okay, and then for, she barely has like a little bit of a dip in the Cupid's bow. That, honestly, the shape is pretty good. And then for lipstick, I'm gonna be using the KKW Nude 3. I feel like it's the closest thing that I have to her lip color. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more pink into it, since this combo is looking a little more like brown. Yeah, it needs more pink. The undertone is there. I'm gonna add this Kylie gloss in Diva to try to make it a little more pink. Still not quite right. Yeah, still not quite right. I'm gonna use this one because I think it'll balance it out and make it more peachy. This one's called Feedback from ColourPop. I'm worried because this has like shimmer in it and I don't really want that. No, it looks fine. Yeah. I did it, guys. Alright, so the makeup looks so good. I'm gonna go, honestly, like redo my hair and add the finishing touches, and I'll be right back. Alright, this is the finished look. My hair looks so much better. I redid it, and I ran over these pieces with a curling iron, and I added some hoops. They're not like diamond coated like hers, but I really like how this turned out. I loved using new techniques of makeup that I've never used before, so I really enjoy doing this type of video. If you want me to do any more like celebrity inspired makeup looks, let me know. If you want me to try any like new techniques, let me know. I'd be happy to do that for you. But I really, really love how this turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!